All right. So first of all, thanks to Jenny, I am now in yet my second costume for this closing stretch of time on stage. So isn't this amazing? I am only graduated from high school, so I'm feeling kind of special right now. So Own the Con is a talk we've done, well, it says right there on the slides, for a number of years. And typically we have done it not as a plenary session, right? We've done it just either Saturday or Sunday, depending as the years go. And we have always wanted from the very beginning to share information about what it's like to run this event, why we're running the event, what happens behind the scenes when we run the event. And that was really something Beetle started back at the beginning. And Beetle, if you're watching, can we all say 1, 2, 3, hi Beetle, 1, 2, 3? Hi Beetle. So, you know, this is born of his idea. We've continued it through the years. In fact, I think, don't quote me, but these slides may have originated with Beetle. Not sure. I'm not sure who actually made them, but we may have made them together. And we have just continued to use them. So they are sloppy, they are not good, they are in Keynote. Listen, I'm nothing if not, you know, keeping with tradition. So we're going to go through this. We're not going to take too much time because a lot of this, you know, speaks to the future. And a lot of that's not super relevant anymore. But I do encourage you, if you are interested in any ShmooCon history, any good ShmooCon stories, they usually are told during this session, although today they'll be told throughout the next 2 hours. And so without further ado, what we're going to do really quick is I'm just going to probably power through a bunch of slides because a lot of it should be information, hopefully most of you know, but there are so many of you in the audience that are new. Listen, I cried earlier. I'm okay right now. We're good. So, but Mr. Potter, if you could help with some of these early ones, because I'm going to drink some water.
There we go. Also, you should eat some charcuterie I brought for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Ooh, fancy. It's the fanciest plastic charcuterie. ShmooCon Logistics is the LLC that runs the con. We aren't a nonprofit. That was by design early on. A bunch of you have been involved in nonprofits, so you know the lift that it is. The trade-off is you don't have to pay taxes, but you got to deal with a bunch of people. And so you know, we get to. Oh, we don't have a napkin. You can just use this.
No, I'm not using that to touch my food. I'm going to use the inside of my robe.
You're going to use the inside of your robe to eat your charcuterie.
It feels cleaner than my hand.
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah.
Where's the mouthwash? Oh, wait, you all have hand sanitizer. Can I have some?
Where's the mouthwash?
Anyway, this is pretty germane. The only thing would have been cooler if that whole thing lit on fire and there was just a fireball across. Not an invitation.
It's all together.
All together.
Is that El Cantaro hand sanitizer?
Oh, good. That's definitely okay.
Is it hand sanitizer or lube?
It can be both. Anyway, we do almost every. Does this rag smell like ether? We do.
I lied about zooming through the first few slides. Can you tell?
Yeah. Speaking of Zoom, actually that's been kind of the primary organizational mechanism for the last few years because no one uses the phone anymore. So we just do a lot of Zooms, and even that we don't even do that many. So text, yeah. There you go.
Next slide.
Next slide.
Ooh, this is a good one. I'm going to keep eating.
Okay. So the reason we do own the con is that, and do the conference itself, is really wanted something to give back to the community. At the time when we started this, there wasn't really anything on the East Coast. SummerCon was kind of doing its thing, but SummerCon moved all over the planet. At the time. And so this was one of the few East Coast kind of HackerCon type things. And so we figured, you know, if other people could do it, we could try it too. And so we did. And really, you know, it's been a labor of love for 20 years doing it for you. That's what's kept us motivated. And it is habit forming. Like, thank you. We are like, we know when it comes to the fall, like it's ShmooCon season, and we all ramp up, all the volunteers ramp up and do it. So it really has become like a habit each year over year. This is you.
I'm old.
With apologies, anyone older than 51. A slight bit of shade.
I think that, and we'll talk about this again, probably repeatedly for the next 2 hours, but why aren't we going to do it anymore? A long time ago, when we first started this, in fact, this is kind of a thing I do in my life anyways, I just set these kind of arbitrary deadlines in my future for things I want to do or not do. And when we started this, as it kind of got successful and reached that kind of 2,200 mark, and we were there for a while, I was kind of like, you know, we have to have an exit plan. We have to know how we're going to end this and when we're going to go out. And so you start thinking about that. And I knew, one, I wanted it to end while it was good, right? I didn't want this to peter out and become something people, you know, were kind of losing interest in. So I wanted to end on a good note. I also knew that, you know, like that 20-year mark, maybe a 25-year mark, going out on a big, you know, a decade number or a half-decade number was kind of like a thing to aim for. And it turned out that if that COVID thing hadn't happened, we probably would have ended this last year, and I would have had a 50th birthday, and it would have been like this whole thing. You got a bonus year out of me, so that's great. But it just all coincided. And then ultimately, it's time to do other things, right? Endings bring new beginnings, and there's room and time for other things to happen. Okay. They're going to get a big ol' thank you at the end, and I'm going to cry, so we're just going to keep going.
The amount of hours that go into the con, unsurprisingly, is more than a few. Heidi ends up kind of ramping up post-DEF CON. Historically, has been when she puts the throttle down. This year, she came out of DEF CON and ramped up COVID instead. So her August got knocked out from underneath her. It was a good 3 weeks for her to recover and get kind of back to even partially on her feet. So we lost the whole month of August, unfortunately, and so the whole thing started late this year. September through February, usually it's her full-time job. Somehow she also ended up working for me at my full-time job, so it's been like a couple full-time jobs in the house for the last couple of months, so that's been fun. And then it kind of, in the past, has varied. In the summer, you know, odds and ends that have to get done. So our best estimate is it's about 1,000 hours of Heidi's time to make this happen. I then get weird cracks of hours where I do stuff and work, and for me it's probably about 400 hours.
No, and actually I think that number's this, I mean, again, these slides are old and I don't always update some of them, but I think those hours are higher for you in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and then all the other volunteers put in, you know, thousands of hours as well, right? So I mean, it is well over a man-year of effort, well over, that goes into making an event this size function. It is not 10 man-years of effort, but it is several man-years of effort that goes into this. So, you know, if you think about the scale and scope that it takes to pull off an event, this is a useful metric, I think, as you enter and do things yourselves or work in other places. This is what we are able to do it with. Different people are more or less efficient, but this is what's worked for us.
Sure, they are more efficient. Well, and you know, and different cons have different structures, right? So you're going to see lots of different things out there. This is just what has worked for us. But the most important line on the slide is the last line. So if you have not said thank you to a ShmooCon staff member yet, you should do that.
Logistics is hard to spell.
Right. This was. Yeah. I think this might still be on my credit card, actually.
Yeah, Amex will put anything on a credit card. Literally, ShmooCon Logistics.
Logistics.
I have a credit card that just has my first name. which has actually caused problems. At the old hotel, they didn't want to charge my card at the Marriott because it just had my name on it.
Yeah, mine says default.
Yeah, Heidi says default. So we're not making any endorsements, but I will say you can do like proper hacker shenanigans with Amex that you can't do with other cards.
Actually, you can, but we'll talk about that later.
These are all the parts and pieces that go into the event, you know, from the hotel all the way through the volunteers and just even running and keeping our house clean. A lot of it gets staged out of our house, and so people come help there as well. And this is actually kind of a crib sheet if you're going to go do this yourself somewhere. These are kind of all the high-level things that you need to track and run, and we'll have some numbers on all of them here as we work through the presentation.
We didn't actually, I've never counted the boxes. I've missed opportunity.
More than 6.
Yeah, this one's not important.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I go
You went
back?
through, yeah, you went one too many.
Nope, I did not. I told you. This is like, you know, whatever. Oh, yeah, I didn't actually calculate the acceptance rate, so that's wrong. But everything else on this slide, I think, is right. 249, I think that's right, total submissions this year for the CFP.
Yeah, so this is our first kind of return to normal post-COVID.
I mean, it'd been ramping back up since COVID, but this year, obviously it's the last year, so we capped out. It was higher. Normally our submission rate is probably about 230, so we actually kind of, I wouldn't say blew past that, but you know, got more.
Any guesses on when most of the submissions come in? 100 submissions in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. Makes it
Come
really
on, give us a break. Submit early, please. God damn
yeah, it makes it more difficult for reviewers.
Yeah, next year you'll submit earlier.
But well, here's what I really want to talk about when it comes to CFP. We can talk about our process and how it works. We use OpenConf. It's actually I pay for it now, but they do have a open source version. I have a bunch of people on the committee. They review the talks. Then I sit down and we kind of, I always do like a first draft, right? And then with a small selection of folks, usually it's like John, Ben, Bruce, a couple other folks, we'll look at that list and then we'll refine it, right? And so that's how the program gets built. But it's not just score, right? We have tracks, so those tracks have to be built out. We have to look at the collision of help me out.
Talk topics,
Talk
yeah.
topics,
Yeah.
right? And all of that's part of that process, right? Also, speaking of scoring, sometimes it's really funny when I'm going through the talks and I look at my reviewers and what they're doing and what they're saying, and you can tell like when somebody's maybe tossed back like a little bit to drink because they get really happy and they're like, "Oh, I love this," and they go, "There's all these 6s. Like I love everything that you have all submitted." Or like they've had a bad day and they're really cranky and they're just like one, and you have to discount those. Like you have to go through and say like, okay, you know, there's some variance here. Why is there variance? And then you dismiss the score. But it's never based solely on score, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. The scores are there, and the review comments are there to help guide the process, but it's only a part of the process. I have so many ha-has in here now. Like every time there was a question about the future, I just put ha-ha. I thought it was.
Yeah, Nelson Muntz, channeling your inner Nelson Muntz.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right. But the most important slide is right here. If you are submitting, well, not to us anymore, but to anywhere, the most important thing you can do to make your submission palpable, I can't talk, guys, I'm exhausted, to make it, I wouldn't say stand out, but to make it readable and to make it even acceptable is to follow directions. Don't submit outside of the process. Don't think you're an exception to the process. There's a reason why conferences ask for things in an order. It's because they always want to look at the same place, right? There's a reason they ask for word limits. It's because maybe they're printing a program or they only have a certain amount of space for things to fit. They want information. So if they say detailed description, give them that. Don't give them 4 sentences. That's not a detailed description.
Yeah, and I think that in general, you have to think about it from the other side, right? The program committee is looking at hundreds of submissions, and they have other things they do in their life, right? And they're going to kind of bomb through it. And if they get a submission in that's out of format, isn't answering the question, it's not like it's not a personal thing, but they're just going to move on, right? They're just not going to, they don't have time to think about it. They can't make a reasonable judgment against it. And so the directions of any of these program submissions are there for a reason. Follow them. And they're all different. If you have a question, ask ahead of time, right? Ask before you submit. Write the program committee. Be like, hey, this seems ambiguous, or what's successful here? We posted years ago submissions that they were fake, but they were like, here's what we expect. Here's a length of the outline. Here's a length of the detailed description. Here's all these things, so that people had a rubric to crib from and be like, oh, this is what they expect. All you got to do is go look at that and know how to submit a talk that at least has a chance of getting accepted. You know, that's the thing that we would love to see more conferences do, and some have. But put an example of what success looks like, so that people, especially first-time presenters who've never done this before, have a template to follow to
Mr.
be like,
Potter,
yeah.
a lot of them use our example.
Well, that's fair. A lot of people have just stolen our stuff, which is good. I meant stolen in the nicest possible definition of the word stolen.
So the only other thing I want to call out here, because this is super important to me, is after doing this for 20 years and you've read every single submission to ShmooCon, you start to see things and you notice trends and you know who's done what. May not remember names, but you know it's out there. It's really important, if you're doing something and you're researching it, that you reference that prior art. Like, don't approach it like it's completely new. If it's just something sexy, what?
That was grifter, like stage whispering, sexy.
At Bruce, I'm sure.
No, I think it was at Tim.
Oh, at Tim? Yeah. Okay. Right. Some OG shmoo in the audience, folks.
Grifter.
But it's really important to reference that prior art, because I assure you, if the conference has been around for a while, or the people on the review committee are, a little old hat, they're going to know about it, right? So if you ignore that prior art, like it I don't know, kind of, it stands out. So just mention it. Say, I know, I'm building on the work of others, right? Okay. Do we really want to talk about ticket sales? It's been going great for years.
From our perspective.
Yeah, we know it's still been hard to get tickets. We get that. But you all got tickets. So winning.
It's funny how if you're used to coming to an event, I've got some F5 buttons that have showed up. If you have been going to corporate security cons or any conference, and you're used to, like, I have to have my name, I have to show my ID, people scan me. It's amazing how many people come here and are like, I can just give my badge to somebody else and they can go in? Like, that's weird. It's like, no, it's weird for you, but it's actually kind of common in this environment, right? And we're not unique. I mean, obviously, DEF CON and every other HackerCon kind of thing. My hat fell off. But we've taken, we mentioned this at the opening, like, personal privacy is a thing that's kind of going by the wayside. And that's one of the reasons we still even run our own process, is like, we don't want your information at, whoever the fuck sells tickets, Eventbrite or whatever. Not that we don't necessarily think they're going to have a breach like tomorrow, but we have the ability to shoulder that load to do it ourselves. So they don't need the database. And so,
well,
yes,
and it's cost. It's cost as well.
You're welcome.
Right?
There's one person to appreciate it. The rest of you, like, I don't give a shit.
Like, we use Eventbrite all the time.
Yeah.
But so. Originally, too, a lot of that decision was driven by the cost of using outside ticket processes, right? That's changed a lot now, but by the time that changed, we were sort of ensconced in what we did.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I forgot to update this. David, I'm so sorry. David did all the work to update the stats for this, and I forgot to put it in. I will change it before we post it online, so just ignore everything here.
Otherwise, it's correct.
I was a little busy today.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's absolutely correct. It's actually a lot of this is, on the little stats that we post after the ticket rounds. We'll just won't even leave that up. So, and we'll move on to this. Yes, sometimes shenanigans, not ever as bad as you all think there are, though.
Fabra.
What?
Oh, sorry. It was a Super Troopers joke. Yeah.
mozzarella sticks.
Anybody got some maple syrup? No, the Super Troopers fans anywhere. All right, never mind. There you go. There's a few Super Troopers fans. We can.
Just a handful.
Yeah.
Just a handful.
I'm sorry for what I just did. Like, I have legitimate regret.
And I guess we don't really have to talk about this anymore.
No, and it's not been an issue for a while. The secondhand sales thing has generally been well under control.
I was actually very impressed by all of you, actually, the general, our general audience, if you will, because when we put out the call to say, hey, it doesn't feel good when people are making a profit off of your work, right? Y'all kind of basically stopped doing that. So thank you for that. All right, so this slide with the tiny text, it gets smaller, guys. Like I tell you, we just keep adding and adding to these as the years go on. But this kind of outlines some of the changes that occurred in the con over the years as we added tracks, changed track names, the decision to do away with a traditional keynote kind of talk, the changes to ticket sales, and just some of the other program changes that we made over time. It's just, memorialized here for reasons. Because it's called Own the Con, and we have to do that shit.
Yeah, one of
talk.
the objectives of Own the Con, for those of you who haven't been here before, is really to put this out in the public so that other people can learn from it, and A, hold us accountable, B, also learn from it. And so tracking like what changes we made over the years helps people think through if you're going to do this or you're a part of another conference, like how do you build your program, what can you learn from?
So pay attention to that last line, because we're going to talk about that later.
It's 50-50 vision that is required to see that.
Oh, is it really small for you guys too? Can you read here? I will read it out loud.
Yeah.
Technology. Sometimes we keep up, sometimes we are behind. Cost of replacing hardware/software. Those reg boxes, for example, we used G3 Mac Minis for far longer than we should have. Just you wait. Henry Higgins.
You want me to do this?
Or they can just read it.
Well, if Rob's in the audience, we should speak to it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Oh, he is here. I guess. I'm sorry, Rob. It's.
And then we should keep going.
Yeah, we should keep going.
Yeah,
okay. It's been the same size for years. It'll be the same size next year.
All right, so this one I did update. This is who's actually here or who could be here, something like that. We got 96 staff, approximately 65 speakers, 11, 12-ish, 13-ish press, registered press. You know how that works. Anybody? No? Okay, fine. Thank you. Somebody. And then a bunch of attendees of kind of different categories, but it adds up to be a lot. This year we grew it a little bit more to accommodate just a couple buckets of tickets for folks. So it's great. I love that you're all here. What's our check-in number? I didn't get to update this. Anybody?
It was like 2150, 2160, something like that.
So you put it. We have it in closing. So well, stay here and you'll find out.
Yeah,
so
20 people
when I
showed
looked
up.
this morning, we had like right around 100 left to be checked in. Some of those we know won't be here, but there were still people checking in as of this morning, a handful, right? So, okay, 39 sponsors, including labs, 6 levels of sponsorship, limited number of each level available. We talked about this at opening. We've always pushed our sponsors to bring something different, something fun. We think they've done that in spades, and it's a big part of our conference. And it brings a fun element. Lots of games, lots of crazy over the years, no more suits. So that's been great.
Yeah, and sponsorship is limited. We don't take anyone who rolls up because we want it to still be of value to sponsors. If you're running an event, sponsors aren't just showing up out of their good graces. They want something in return. And if there's 80 sponsors and 50 people show up, that's not good for them. This is a good balance, we think, for the amount of sponsorship that we need, plus to give them the value that they want out of it. But because of that, we sell out sponsorship in just a few days. And it's weird to have really, really, really big companies who are used to just being able to pen a check to sponsor anything they want to say, hey, I'll give you some money. And you go, nope. And then you get a, what do you mean, nope? And we have a little back and forth. But, I mean, Heidi holds the line on that. We we fill up sponsorship, and then we're done.
Pretty much. All right, so this is completely back of the napkin math, mind you. I did it on my phone while sitting in a talk yesterday. So it could be wrong, okay? But it's close. This is roughly what we brought in. And so in money in, that's an old joke from...
That's an old joke from a presentation that Beetle and I did at Black Hat years ago where I screwed up the slide of something, and I had the same verb twice, and he just gave me ration of shit, and it still shows up here 20-odd years later. So thank you, Beetle. Appreciate it.
And out, money out. So this is, again, this is always best guess as we're kind of scrambling to create this slide. It is not 100% accurate, all right? It is rounded numbers. I have probably missed a couple. I say this every year. I've missed a couple big categories here. I try not to, but it's represented here, right? And it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to track. It's a lot to take in. The one thing that we didn't spend money on this year, though, was upgrading any equipment.
If it died, it died. It served us well.
That's not entirely true. There were like one or two small things we purchased, of course, but usually we're always in some rotation of buying laptops or servers or I don't know, whatever things that get thrown at us. But it's it's a lot.
Yeah, and again, this will be posted online, so you don't need to memorize any of this. But I will say that.
Could you please memorize this?
Yeah,
That'd
I'll get right
awesome.
on it. For anyone who's
Get a
involved
ticket to next year.
in other events and that kind of thing, or thinking about running events, Heidi in particular and others on staff have been a resource to answer questions, especially about like who do you order from, what should we be on the lookout for, blah blah blah. Feel free to reach out after as you get involved in doing events, and we're happy to chat about our experiences and put you in contact with people that can help save you money and lift the load off of you and that kind of thing, so you don't have to do all the work yourself.
Yeah, that's actually something I do a fair bit. I've talked to a number of conferences in their infancy and, tell them what's worked for us, giving them hints and tips along the way. I really enjoy doing that. It's a ton of fun for me because if you haven't learned something after doing this for 20 years, then kind of what's the point?
Yeah, there's a little money left over at the end. The buffer's been sometimes a little bit bigger, sometimes a little bit smaller, but this is the end.
So stay tuned. We'll talk about that soon, too. Do we all get cars? Honey, there ain't that much money left over.
The sheetrock didn't fall on our car. It fell on someone else's.
True story. Could have been our car.
Damn near was our car.
Damn near was our car.
Yeah. Had to rewrite this slide, realizing that, who gives a shit?
Bruce and I are like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Philosophically, we feel pretty passionately about being open about, how we run the event so that you can trust us to be good stewards of your time and your money. Especially in the kind of middle days where the Moose Cluster wasn't selling tickets very well and everyone's like, why the hell should I put up with this bullshit trying to buy tickets when everything implodes? It bought us a lot of goodwill from you all who continue to support us to run the event for you. And I think it's been an interesting lesson in that relationship between organizers and attendees, and we would like to encourage other events to continue to have that relationship in a way that is practical and appropriate for them. We recognize not everyone can open their books and be open about it, and nonprofits have the other issue, but we want people to be able to be as transparent as possible to build conferences that are as effective as they can be.
So, and this is, obviously, we love hearing your comments about what's happening. We had to add a tagline at the bottom of this one, too, because giving us feedback on what we can do next year isn't really going to mean anything, sorry. Unless it's I don't know what you could say. But there's still stuff to come from us, so stay tuned, and if there's things you'd like to see, I'm really open to hearing that. What was that?
Do more with the Stargate.
Do more with the Stargate. Stargate. I think that might already exist, so let's be careful there.
Let's not do any trademark infringement, shall we?
Right.
Stargate gone.
You are taking it
SG1.
home, just a very small part of it. All right, so we kind of blew through that, and I think we weren't even that funny, Bruce.
No,
I
we
feel like
weren't. Yeah, we
we're
weren't.
kind of failing here, but
We'll
we
pick up
wanted
your
to get through
slack.
that quickly because I have now been told that my children want to say a few words. Daxton says, "Mom, more than a few." Where do you want me?
Up here, preferably. That'd be nice.
Just sit anywhere.
So remember that thing about you should not be the exception or like follow the rule? Yeah, we didn't turn in the talk. You know, I just did the entire Taskmaster. Let's see if I can do this. Come on. There we go. You don't have to move it over. Fuck you. So,
That's the first one.
like father, like child. Also, this is now a PowerPoint. It's not in whatever the fuck that is. We evolved. All right.
Can I talk in here? No.
No,
Hello?
apparently not. Try the other ones.
Hello.
Is that one? Hit.
Oh, this one works.
Huzzah.
Okay, there
Mine
we go.
work.
There's also this one if you want this one.
Okay,
Can I request that the two
We're
of you
figuring this out.
shift down
We're going to go this way.
and then my siblings come closer, just to save the camera work?
Chinese fire drill.
Now let's make it harder for them.
No. Okay. You need two mics.
Look, I got. Shut up. All right, I'm not allowed to say that to them.
Yeah, but I can say fuck you.
On that note, sorry, Mom and Dad.
How do we allow this?
So yeah, this is Growing the Con. We wanted to kind of talk about our experiences because we think they're fairly unique for children. Because you know, when your house fills with boxes around Christmas and none of them are for you, it's fairly unique. So
It might mean
We
your parents
got
don't
you
like
a
you.
few presents.
you did.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, have you been to ShmooCon a few times? You've definitely seen some contingent of us just running around. If you don't know who we are, I'm the eldest, as it says on the slide. Thank you, guys. I'm Taryn. I'm 26. I've been to every ShmooCon and remember all of them. The chandelier incident, my dad getting the giant bruise on his chest. I mean, I've heard it all. Well, oh, I'm sorry. I don't
There we
talk up.
go.
I don't talk up here much,
There we go.
apparently.
Yeah.
And the person who corrected me is my lovely wife, Amanda. Say hi, Amanda.
It was Katie.
Katie,
my
never mind.
partner corrected
Katie
you.
is not my wife. And I'm also looking to get hired. Please, I hate LinkedIn. Thank you.
All right. As you've met me earlier, if you're here at Taskmaster, I'm Bobby. I'm 22. I'm the eldest youngest, or youngest eldest, because of the age gap.
That's normally how it works.
Yeah, well, shut up. Sorry, fuck you. I have been to, yet I do not remember every ShmooCon. I am about the same age as ShmooCon. And I almost have an MAT. Almost. I should graduate
What's an
soon.
MAT?
It's a Master's of Arts in Teaching, because
There you
I chose
go.
a smart career path.
And I'm Dax. I'm 14 years.
Let me help you with that one.
Okay, my
We're
bad,
bad at
okay?
this.
I don't know how to use mics. I'm Dax. I'm 14. I'm the youngest. Oh my god. I've not been to every con, which is sad. And only remember the most recent years. I almost
Stupid
have
existence.
a middle school diploma.
Sorry,
I
I
guess.
didn't have you earlier.
I don't know.
He's moving up in the world. Almost beating his parents.
So, Daxton, why aren't we going to do it? Why aren't we continuing it?
Our parents are tired.
And
Okay. But all seriousness, they're ending it. We don't own it, and nor do we want to. It's the same reason why you don't have Microsoft. You don't own it. We don't own ShmooCon, so we can't run it. And also, we love you guys, but this is a lot of work, and we don't want to take it over. And this one's a minor. Like, this one's a child. He should not be doing it.
And you may have noticed none of us are going into this space. I have an MPA, so like policy, research,
I'm
music
going
and
to
teaching.
be a music teacher.
And well, Daxton
I
still
may
can.
go into it, but again, minor.
Minor, yeah. So now we talk about, what did we learn throughout all our years of ShmooCon? So first of all, I suck at comp sci. Like, what you all are talking about is basically magic, and I suck so much that in high school, I almost failed the class, and when my parents went to email my teacher, I gave them the fake email that I responded with, pretending to be my teacher. That's how bad it was.
So really, he doesn't really suck at comp sci.
I also cheated on most of my Latin tests, just throwing that out there.
That's all right.
Okay.
Do you remember any of it?
Nope.
Good.
All right. Also, my parents' dad have a lot of unique ideas about conference swag. The bicycle, bicycle badge.
Never put that down.
Nope.
A bicycle.
Or, making all my other siblings, inhale fumes to put the Stargate in plastic and shit. So, good job shortening their lifespan.
To be honest, I didn't really smell the fumes. I was just counting.
It's
lived
a
above
cost-saving measure.
There you go, there you go. But in all seriousness, also just the busy work can be so underappreciated. I mean, you saw in the previous slides, there are thousands and thousands of hours that go into making this happen. And most of y'all will never see what that really entails, because that is, I was just sitting in front of the computer late at night, making sure all the shit goes right, is hundreds of hours standing up, stuffing, moving boxes. It's a lot of fucking work, especially if you're not an adult yet. So,
Man.
I wonder who you're talking about.
Yeah,
lot of
we're
shade.
just roasting you. This is actually the roasting part of the. Yeah.
Katie chimes in down there with, well, they are your children.
But
Fuck.
But on that note, to make all that busy work happen, as I say here, no man, woman, or any other gender is an island. You need to have a group of people around you who support you. You need to have friends. And just having that foundation, having those people you can reach out to talk to get help from, is just, that's what makes these things happen. And then, yep. So thank you to the volunteers, obviously. Yes, thank you, volunteers. You doing good, Mom? Okay. And then also what my mom always says, lead with kindness. That's probably the most important thing I've learned from this, especially when you disagree.
It's on the staff shirt.
There you go.
I think.
It's on the badges.
Yeah.
It's also
It's like everywhere.
It's everywhere, exactly. We hear it so much, it's a little annoying, to be honest.
I barely hear it, to be honest.
I mean, I love you, Mom. Lead with kindness, but it's important when we try and be a leader. It's important when we try and be a follower. Treat people with humanity, and they'll treat you back with humanity. I mean, sorry. Also, I got good at a lot of random shit. So box textures, building computers, designing cutouts for laser cutters, poking out badges from wood, the bicycles again. How to be a gopher. I've basically been a gopher for the last 20 years. So on and so forth. So thank you for all these skills that aren't really marketable on my resume.
I see you're pouring a drink now. All right, so my version of the slide, it's not as fun and exciting as Taryn's, but I've learned a lot of useful skills while doing this con. As you saw with the Taskmaster stuff.
He can put it on the resume.
Yes, in fact, it has. But a lot of useful skills with the Taskmaster. I've done a lot of video editing and audio stuffs, and I've learned a lot of things surrounding that. A lot of graphic design work over the last couple of years, not so much this year, but previous years. A lot of the art that you see, I've either edited, touched, or made, or something. I've made a number of the shirts, so it's been a very interesting process. No, thanks. It's been a very interesting process learning how much the Adobe Suite sucks and how to swear at a computer. And also stream maintenance. I used to do a lot of Twitch streaming in high school. I streamed every night. And one day, I forget what the old system we used, but my parents were like, well, shit, we can't stream the talks anymore, and about to spend some random amount of money on some software. I'm like, no. Just install OBS and do it on Twitch. They're like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, well, magical world. And so that's how we ended up on Twitch. I'm sorry. I've also gained a lot of more useless skills. How to stuff swag bags. It's somewhat useful. How to shred a Stargate. That gets one time, and that's it. Which elevators go to the con floor? I get really happy when the ones closest to the entrance of the elevators is open. And I'm like, yes, I don't have to talk to people on the lobby floor to go down to concourse. And also how to avoid t-shirt rolling. I've gotten banned from that twice.
Wait, what?
I messed up sizes one year and then messed up the paper another year. Woo! I've also met a lot of interesting people, showed me a lot of what to do and what not to do.
I like how interesting is italicized.
Yeah, sorry. Interesting people. The Hack Fortress people, if you're in this room, have been lovely. I've been working with them over the past few years, and they've accepted my shenanigans from a child who was addicted to TF2. Addicted is a light word there, to someone who's trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do in this world, and allowing me to just do my shenanigans and have fun streaming and swearing and playing video games. So thanks a ton to them. And I've also learned to advocate for myself. My parents, or my mom, has been very good about just letting us volunteer where we want. And me being the fickle child, I jumped around. I think I did security 1 year, and that wasn't it. I helped out with AV for a bit. I went to Hack Fortress. I bumped around at other conferences. The fools lockpicking people just was like, yeah, here, just help behind and just work with us, unpaid. But it's been a lot of fun. So that's what I've learned, I guess, and to this one.
Oh, God. So I really started really helping since like 3 or 4 years ago, so I'm not going to have a whole lot in mind, but I've learned how hard it is to run a conference. There's a lot. Like, a lot. All the volunteers put in so much work, mom and dad, like, just everyone. It's insane. Technology, I love it. And also hate it, because sometimes it gets, yeah.
It takes his parents away from him.
Wait, no, that's not what I meant. It means I also learned stuff that's only useful to conferences, bag stuffing, t-shirt folding, and...
Hang on. That one you can use.
Which one?
The t-shirt folding.
It's rolling.
What
It's
about
not
Do your
folding.
laundry, Daxton!
What am I going to go into when I'm older?
Honey, you have laundry.
I get that, but, like, these are special
You'll
t-shirts.
go into a house with a dresser.
Okay. And also make a hole.
Them's fighting words, son.
Do you want me to make the am I hot joke?
Ooh. You should keep going for
Yeah,
your
just
own safety.
Keep going, guys. You're doing great. Doing great.
You know, that's fair. I also learned a lot of skills that are helpful outside the conference. Organization. Still ain't great at that, though. Being a leader, having a loud voice. I was already good at that, if you ask my parents and my brothers. I'm loud. And copying my siblings.
Is that a good thing?
No.
Jury's still out on that one.
And a lot more, but I'm 14-year-old. There's a lot for me.
So, what's next for us? Well, I'm married. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
So, thank you, Daxton. Eventually, con grandkids, I spent like 30 seconds. Yeah. Look.
You have
We'll
made
get
someone
there
very
eventually,
happy.
okay? But
No pressure.
yeah, we're accepting funding and a job, please. Yeah, because I'm figuring out my long-term career. You know, I'm early mid-career, so I'm kind of the same. Oh yeah. There you go. Yeah, but yeah, I'm still figuring it out. I'm still young, I think. So, yeah, I think I'm 26.
You're old.
Yeah.
No, it's been so weird growing up with the con because it's as like I'm used to being a child at the conference, and so every year the the younger attendee age gets closer and closer to my age until last year my college just showed up, and I'm like, oh no, oh, like I feel old, but I'm 22.
To be fair, some people still think I'm a high schooler, so.
Oh, lucky people think I'm a middle schooler.
Wah, wah, wah.
People think I'm a middle schooler, but I am. So like,
All right,
it
well,
works out.
I'm dating life. My wonderful partner of 3 and a bit years, Katie, who helped with Taskmaster. I will also be finishing my degree in teaching, maybe going to teaching, maybe do something else for a little bit, and also just finding something else to do in my winters, because the 1 year that the con wasn't a thing, I did winter classes just to make up for it, and with graduating, that's not going to be a thing, so I'm going to be lost.
And I got school. I'm about to go to high school. Doing what? Like it's not.
True, yeah.
It's not wrong. I'm also doing a bunch of like extracurricular things, like orchestra. I'm in
orchestras.
Yeah, I'm in 2 or 3 technically if you count my school orchestra, but I don't really count that. So.
Your teacher does.
Okay.
I know your teacher.
Okay, fair. And then also just going into like more leather work and just a bunch of hobbies.
So our most memorable takeaways. So yeah, I think for me, one of the biggest impacts you can make with your life is to build a community where people can find each other, make friends. I think Mom is so close. Where
You can do it. Come on, come on.
Milk it, okay. Where you can. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. So where you can build a community where people make friends, trade information, trade knowledge, and you can make a positive difference in this world. And that's something beautiful.
Something that I've taken away, but
It's go.
okay, is never be afraid to ask questions. If you're confused, if you don't know what's going on, and if you just want to say hello to someone, a question's a great way to start with that. Being able to be comfortable of just, hey, what's going on here? Can you explain this to me? Or just step out of your comfort zone. Hey, is there a way that I can be a part of this organization somehow, even if it's just as a spectator or something else? Being able to just go up and ask questions, that's a good call. Being able to just go around and ask questions so you can learn what you need to learn, know what you need to know, and figure out where you're going next is an important skill. And so that's something I've taken away from me with this con.
Going off my strength of copying my siblings, I took inspiration from Bobby, and you are always learning, and it's okay to learn. I learned so much here, just from all the volunteers, even attendees. I've learned how to play games, how to actually use technology, which is nice, and just it's amazing how much people know.
Notice he copied Bobby and not me, I guess.
Yeah, I like Bobby more.
Okay, well, people have confused me and Dax this con, and I'm lost. All right, so the CFP stats. I don't know what CFP stands for, so it stands for Children from Potters. So,
wait,
yeah.
I think Terrence should read the first stat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so to continue the roast, 2,500 bike badges built.
The smell of the plastic part is ingrained in my psyche. And, I can't. But between the 3 of us, we've had many, many concerts, too many, some may say, many of them school-related.
1 wedding. That's my cue, sorry.
Yeah. 3 college graduations. High five.
Woo!
Yay.
Yeah.
Bye. And at least 1 more to come. Around 3,000 hours of TF2 collectively between the 3 of us.
Yeah.
I only got 300, thank God.
Yeah. Soon.
You're just young.
1.5 blizzards. We're counting half as this year. An unknown amount of fumes inhaled. Melting plastic. Curing resin wood, which was the nice one for a while. And then we went back to plastic. Between the 3 of us, 54 collective ShmooCons. Get wrecked. 1.5 car accidents. I am accepting donations. That one was me.
I'm the half. It was a work car, so I didn't have to pay for it.
I hit a retaining wall. 20 Christmases with boxes absolutely everywhere, including in our rooms at some point. The COVID box year, we put all those boxes in this one's room, and they hung out there.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, they hung out there for a while.
You blocked it out of your mind.
0 computers hacked, but 2 coding classes. We're making progress. 2 talks given at HackSorCons, and
What was
You
the
kinda
other
forgot
surgery?
surgeries.
what's the what?
Okay, we debated this. It was my teeth, my wisdom.
Wisdom teeth
Oh,
removal.
I thought it was, well, because
And then
you
heart.
guys.
Did you not get your wisdom teeth removed?
No, I haven't. I need to. Actually, I need to go figure
This
that
is the
out.
part where we
Wait,
talk about
what?
dental
I'm a year behind on that
records.
one. And 1 Stargate shredded.
There you go.
Actually, if I can fix that 1/3.
1/3 of a Stargate shredded. And feedback.
We aren't taking any.
Yeah, no, we get enough.
Yeah, we got them. We got each other. We got our partners. There we go. Thank you all.
Thank you. Apparently, we made that a little too large.
All right. On that note,
I think that's
I think that's it. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you, volunteers. And thank you all for coming.
Appreciate it. We're going to take a minute and tool up to the next slides, which will actually be the closing slides. Talk amongst yourselves quietly or loudly. Yeah, you can have it.